celebrity makeup artist, and thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm going to share with you the makeup tips I used on one of my all-time favorite artists, Beyoncé, for the Versace show. Okay, so I started off with putting some moisturizer on my model's face, and I like to use Oil of Olay, the complete moisturizer cream with sunscreen. It's always good to have sunscreen. Make sure you give the face a good moisturize all around. Try and use a moisturizer that's hydrating, that will keep the skin hydrated all day. Next, I'll start with the base. And I like to use the Sisley base, and for her skin it's a beige color, soft beige. Now remember, if you have oily skin, you can always use a primer beforehand, before the base, and I also like to use the Instant Perfect Sisley primer. Make sure you blend in the base in very well, so it's not just sitting on top of the skin. And if you feel you need more, just add a little more. Make sure you get it everywhere, including the eyelids, because that would be better for the eyeshadow to stay on. It'll be long lasting. For concealer, I also like to use the Sisley. This is number 1. And I just use that to cover any little blemishes. You just add it with your finger and just tap it on. Of course, you can use a brush too, if you feel better or more comfortable using a brush. Just going to put a little under the eyes. Blend it in again with your finger. Any redness around the nose, I would add a little concealer around there too. Again, if you just use your fingers to blend it in. Now, If you want a slightly stronger brow, you can use either a pencil or you can use a powder as I am, and just fill those brows in a little. And in this case, I'm just elongating her eyebrows a little. That gives it more of a dramatic effect, and because eyebrows are slightly short on the edges. Next, I'm going to start with the eyes, and what I suggest is to use a base if you have. I've got one by Medina. It's called Revolution. The name is Jelly Amber, but you can use, if you can find a different brand that's close to this, then use that. If you can't find a Medina. That again will hold the eyeshadow a lot longer. So for Beyoncé, I first used the base for the eye, for the eyelids, before I added the gold shimmer eyeshadow. I then used a gold eyeshadow by MAC. Now the thing with this eyeshadow, it's very light and it's very flaky, so it's always good to blend it first on your hand before you add it to the eye. You can always use a paper towel underneath your eye if you feel more comfortable. Just put it all around on the eyelid. Of course, for the Versace show with Beyoncé, it had to be a little more dramatic, so if you just add a little more just to give you that final dramatic gold effect. Once I finish with the eyelids, then I'm going to add a highlighter on the brow, and again we use the gold. For Beyoncé, we use the gold highlighter. This one I'm using is from Kiko, a fun young makeup brand, and it's just the gold highlighter. And if you just highlight the brow, extend it all the way out to give it more of a dramatic effect. And again, depends how strong you like it to be, how effective you want it to be, just add a little bit more. It's always better to start with less and add more rather than put a whole bunch of color on and then you can't get it off or you can't correct it. Once I put the eyeshadow on, for Beyoncé, to give it that little bit more depth, I added a line in the crease of Beyoncé's eye, just to give it that little bit more depth. It's always good to use a thin brush for that, so you can get that line in there, and always remember to blend. The secret to good makeup is blending. Okay, once we're finished with the eyeshadow, I then used a pencil over the eyelid to give it a more dramatic and effective look. I used Me pencil, and if you just go right into the line at the top of the eye, as close as you can to the eye without hurting. Don't press too hard, it's a very sensitive part of the eye. I just went all the way from the corner to the outer edge to give it a more dramatic look. And again, just gently. You can either do it in little strokes or all the way, or just one big stroke all the way. Depends on how steady your hand is and how you feel comfortable. And again, if you could take a brush and just blend that in, it's a better finish on the eye. For this particular look, we needed to add eyeliner in the inside of the eye, so I used a brown liner by Medina. Once you finish with the eyeshadow, as you can see, it's quite dramatic now. I'm going to add the mascara. And in this case, we use a black mascara, Very Black by Sephora. And if you just look down, and I lift the eyelid slightly, then I can get to the lashes all the way from the roots. Beyoncé loves to have lashings and lashings of mascara to bring those eyes out. And add a little bit more of the gold. There you go. The other side too. If you just add a little bit more gold just in the middle of the eyelid, that will brighten it up and really open it. Let's have a look. Beautiful. Just down again. We also added mascara on the bottom lashes, but only on the inside. So if you can find a mascara, I like to use the Lancome because they have a very small brush and you can go a little closer to the roots, the bottom lashes, not all the way to the ends, but just almost at the roots, very close to the liner of the eye. Once I was finished with the eyes, went on to blush. And I used the palette from Makeup Forever. It was quite a summery, bronzy look, so all the colours were all very warm. Oranges and browns and golds. And if you could just, when you put the mascara on, when you put the blush, if you could just take off the excess and just gentle strokes on the cheekbone, upwards, almost in a circular stroke, because you don't want to just have a line. So again, gentle, kind of almost round strokes on the cheekbone. I'm going to bring that cheekbone out. And you want to give a nice rosy cheek, almost rosy cheek, healthy glow. Okay. Now for lips, we used a natural lip pencil, creamy lip pencil from Kiko. Again, if you can't find Kiko, there's a lot of the other makeup lines do a natural lip liner. Slightly pinkish, but very close to your lip color. You just gently go over the line a little. Make sure you blend it in, no hard lines. Just gently follow the line of the lip. All the way to the ends. Blend it in a little with your fingers. Then we used on Beyoncé's lips to give it that slight bee stung look. I used again a Medina lip gloss, pink, baby pink almost, but nude at the same time. And if you just gently follow the lips again without overdoing it. All the way to the corners. you have the V-stand lips. There you go. Then nice and plumped up. Once that was finished, we use the highlighter just to go over the makeup. Again, I used a highlighter from Medina. Give it a little shine, a little freshness. And it's always nice at the end just to add a tiny little bit. Give me a little smile. Just to give us a little bit more of a healthy cheek. There you go. And that's the look we did for the Versace show with Beyoncé.
Oh, that looks really good. Yeah. Let me get close up.
To end the show, I'd like to share with you my journey on how I became a celebrity makeup artist. In the beginning, I practiced. I practiced on my friends, I practiced on my sisters, and I practiced on myself. I took classes to learn the basics to kickstart my career. Tune in to my next episode to learn more on how I became a celebrity makeup artist.